Dan Dunn.
Hi.
What do you got for us?
Are you
man?
on Cameo?
I wouldn't know about swapping out words because all my books are perfect.
Oh, well said.
Quite the gauntlet.
Thank you.
How you feeling,
is
Dan?
Dan is a good writer, by the way. I've read
Dan-
a couple of his books.
Dan went to a holiday party last night, and let's just say I'm glad we're drinking today.
Okay.
The hair
Well,
o' the dog.
Yeah, Maria Menounos had a thing that I just said I wanted to go, and then I was like, nah.
I got to drive around and hear a book read to me.
Yeah, never went.
Yeah, it was. I got up today, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be fun at the Carolla show.
Yeah.
Can't see straight. No, I'm good actually. I don't never really overdo it.
Sure. Well, you know, you're a professional.
We should. Dan should be the one to. What is your hangover remedy? I'm sure it's plenty of people.
Today
who
it's
can take
today it's an Irish coffee.
I know.
Which is what we're starting
Let's say
with.
you gotta do work. You gotta show up for something.
I'll take a shot of Fernet Branca.
I knew what that is.
Isn't
Yeah.
that like an
bartender's
Italian
handshake.
That's
yeah.
the bartender's hand. That's exactly right. I will take a shot of that or two. Gets me right.
Why
the
is it
morning.
called the bartender's handshake?
All bartenders do it. It really kind of stemmed from San Francisco. It just became, in that San Francisco bartending community,
Really?
Fernet became the shot that everybody does. And now when you go, especially the morning after, all the bartenders are pounding Fernet.
I think Brian was looking for
Yeah,
something
something
like a
liquid IV,
banana and a buttermilk.
egg.
I don't think he was talking so much more booze.
Oh, you mean
if I know
you mean
Brian.
food? Yeah, no, just
Gatorade.
here's this greasy food.
Pedialyte.
Getting drunker.
Hydrate, greasy food, sex, very good. Seriously, gets the blood flowing, gets
Sure.
the hangover
Okay,
going
I
away.
like that.
Preferably with somebody else, but you could do it by yourself.
Sure. The
I will
VR
not tell you
goggles.
if I did that this morning or not.
Okay.
Because I just handed out these drinks, and I don't want anybody getting weird.
You touched our sugar cubes.
What is the Fernet? What is that?
It's like it's kind of bitter. It's a liqueur, and it's nasty. It's a little bit bitter.
It is sad that, all the potassium and all the electrolytes and all the hydration, it's all great, but it's not as good as more booze.
That's right.
Well, that's even a line in The Sopranos when Carmela's really sick and she goes, take a little Fernet to settle the system. So this is a
right.
thing.
All right, so what do you got? Holiday libations?
I do. I brought some stuff today. We're starting with an Irish coffee. We've already prepared these. I'll let you know. So whenever we do drinks, I always say this: the key is the ingredients. If you use shitty ingredients, you're going to get a shitty drink. This coffee that I'm using is from my hometown, from right outside of Philadelphia, a place called Delco, Delaware County, which was made famous recently. Mayor of Easttown.
Oh,
The show.
great show.
That's Delaware County, Delco. This coffee is called Delco Blend. It's from a place called House Cup. I had it shipped out here especially for this House Cup coffee. The whiskey we're using is Dubliner, which is a newish Irish whiskey that's made in Dublin, which warms my heart to know that Irish whiskey's making a huge comeback. It's got a really cool little packaging
Yeah.
here. This is aged in bourbon casks. It's kind of a very hot new Irish whiskey that's kind of fresh, happening.
Modern.
Kids are all doing. Look at that labeling
Yeah,
right
it's
there,
very
right?
cool.
That's a good looking bottle.
Booze is, it's really the same as fashion. It never really changes. It's just we come back around to it. Bell bottoms or wide collars or thin ties or wide ties or hairstyles. We don't
Hush
realize.
puppies.
Yeah, we just cycle back.
Yep.
We just cycle back to
Yeah.
it. It was, whiskey, rye was weird. Gin was unthinkable. If when you were a kid
Yeah.
and
Sure,
you
you
were
would-
drinking or college or well, not me, but I just mean it was all
You're that
vodka.
age.
Yeah.
And there was like tequila
Zima.
shots. We want to get fucked up,
Yeah.
but there was no rye and there was no gin and
Well,
there's no anything.
There was definitely no Irish whiskey. I mean, when we were younger, there was basically 3 or 4 commercially available Irish whiskeys in the United States. It was, and that was it. And now the category's exploded. I think we did a whole segment on Irish whiskey once. So this is one of the newer ones, the Dubliner. I really enjoy it. What do you guys think? Oh, and the other thing I did. So what you want to do is take your heavy whipping cream.
Yeah, I noticed
I
that.
just put this into a shaker and just shake the shit out of it. Put it right on top of there. Put it over a spoon. Drip it
Why?
on top.
Why
of
did you do that? Put it over
so
the
that
spoon.
it's floating because you want it to float on top of the.
you want the heavy
Pour it in.
whipping
I see.
cream.
heavy whipping cream. Put it in a shaker. Shake it. Pour it on top. So you got your coffee, your Irish whiskey. Put 2 sugar cubes in there too.
Why can't we shake up the heavy whipping cream in the container it showed up in?
You're using all of it, I guess.
Well, because there's not enough space.
Yeah,
in
if it's
there.
full,
you
you
need the
can't do
space.
it.
You need the
All right,
empty
but
space.
if you have space, you could.
Yeah, if you have
could do
space,
that.
I guess you
All
could
right.
do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
This is
Just checking.
delectable.
this is really good,
It's
right?
a balanced drink.
This feels warm
Thank
and
you.
delicious.
Thank you. You're welcome. I
So
feel
it's
better already.
coffee, Irish whiskey, cream,
And sugar.
couple of sugar cubes.
Couple sugar cubes. You don't have to stir it up or anything. You
Right,
could
no.
stir the coffee in the whiskey if you want, but then you float the cream on top.
Yeah.
It is to me this just gets me in the holiday spirit.
Yum.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
so good.
So that's the one. That's what we got. House cup coffee, Dubliner whiskey, any brand. I went with the Kroger,
the Genera.
Kroger heavy whipping cream.
I'm very familiar
Yes.
with that one.
Yeah.
Question: are we still allowed to say, "Can I Irish that coffee up for you"?
Oh, yeah.
in my family.
Okay,
my
good.
world.
All right.
The
Did you guys?
Yes,
Did your
yeah.
parents? Neither one of my parents drank at all, and then I think it like they. It's not like they weren't alcoholics. They just didn't drink. Pleasure wasn't a thing for them. So like most people might not be drinkers, but they still enjoy a glass of wine,
Right.
with the meal or whatever it is. Out of 3 adults, my dad, my stepmom, and my stepdad, my mom, and my grandparents, my grandmother would have a glass of red wine. That was it. There was nothing around the house. My grandfather occasionally would get a generic beer.
What was it called?
It just said beer on it. I think it was a Scotch brand
Oh.
or something. Like literally, Budweiser and Miller were like a bridge too far
highfalutin.
for him. And she would just get beer.
Kroger brand.
Yeah, and at the Lucky's, which
Right.
is now the John's, I guess, where you
Yep,
are.
yep.
And that was it. There was nothing laying around. There's nothing to pinch. You couldn't have done like I'm going to take a pinch and water it down or get into the cabinet, the booze cabinet.
Sure.
Yeah.
No booze cabinet, no booze, no bottles, no nothing. If you went to my dad's house at any time, you would not find a bottle of wine, a can of beer. Not because he had a problem, just because it
brought
was
joy.
like something. Couldn't
Not
find
interested.
a fucking Playboy at that dude's house either.
You could probably ferment the raisins if you waited long enough.
We could make it in the toilet.
Pruno.
You'll
That's right.
appreciate this because it's about my mean grandma. She did not drink. She never drank. Maybe I don't know, a glass of wine at Christmas. You know what I mean?
It's
Something
probably
like that.
good because she probably would have gotten violent.
Yeah, well, he would have
with
got
the
a little
kids at a
ornery.
certain point.
However, her husband, my very sweet grandpa, he drank.
Now that makes sense.
And he drank Manhattans mostly, which he claimed you ought to be 50 years old to drink a Manhattan.
Right.
But occasionally he'd dip into the wine. And mean grandma, my dad still says this to this day. Don't drink wine. You get stupid when you drink wine.
My
She would
dad.
tell him that.
My dad definitely drank. His beer of choice was Schaefer,
Oh,
which has
yeah.
one of the greatest slogans of all time. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more
beer.
than one.
Oh, having more than one.
wow.
It's just like, you know what? We're just going to throw it out there. If you're a
Right.
fucking drunk, drink Schaefer.
Right.
And my dad was, and then he gave it up. My mom did not drink. I think it got in the way of the bipolarism.
Oh,
I
sure.
feel like what was going on in her head
was
didn't
enough.
require any alcohol.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was good. But my dad was a drinker, and then he wasn't one day. And couldn't keep going at that pace.
Yeah.
So, he stopped. But
I wonder how many homes, minus any sober issues, because my family had no sober issues, you just could not find a bottle of booze in the home.
Our
There
house-
did not exist. There was no
Wait.
cabinet. There was no nothing.
Your parents' house or your house now?
Parents' house.
Okay.
No, grandparents. I never saw anyone drink alcohol because Jews, at least in my anecdotal, they're not into alcohol. Our drug of choice is food. So we really didn't have any.
prescription pills. as
Yeah,
well.
but back in the day, it was mostly schmaltz and salt.
Yeah, interesting. All right, sorry, Dan.
that's okay.
This
Yeah.
is
This is
delightful.
great.
This is
Bottoms
really
up.
good. All right. So now let's go next to, we're going to do eggnog because I know Ace loves eggnog. So what I did here is our friends at Fresh Victor. Remember we had the Fresh Victor mixers on here. I hit them up and now I need to clarify. They do not make this for commercially available. But my friend H, Joseph Ehrman, who was with Fresh Victor as a bar up in San Francisco called Elixir, whipped this up for us.
Oh my God.
Overnighted it
with
down
his
here.
dick.
Oh, that's right. He stirred it with his
He
cock.
said whipped it up.
Sent it down here for us, and I
Nice.
tried some last night, and this might be the best eggnog that I've ever had. Again, it's not available for Fresh Victor, but if you go to their Instagram, he said he's going to put the recipe up there so everybody can make it themselves. So I brought glasses.
Fancy
Look at
one.
this. Look at it. Look at these glasses.
They're very
Beautiful.
Does this make you feel festive?
Yes.
Can you help me, Chris, a little bit here? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to just pour eggnog. And what do you guys want to start with? I brought bourbon and I brought rum, which are the two staples of eggnog. What do you want to start with?
I don't really know that much about it.
I think bourbon for me, or is brandy a
Brandy,
eggnog
you can
thing,
do
too?
brandy, but
do brandy.
rum and bourbon are what I like to do. So we'll start. Actually, let's start with the rum. Let's start with the Batiste
Thanks for
rum.
asking.
Well, because there's a reason. I
Okay.
think. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just trying to act like I'm in charge here. I'm the booze
good.
guy.
That's
All right.
good.
All right. Well, we'll start with. What do you want to start with?
Bourbon, he said.
All right. We'll go with bourbon. Rabbit hole. Rabbit hole.
Bourbon,
We've
he
had rabbit
said,
hole.
sounds like a 30s song.
What?
Bourbon, he said, he's a lucky fella because Bourbon, he said, he comes to the show, he stops it right away because it's Bourbon, he said, and I
Bourbon, he
said,
said.
and I love him. Yeah, like it just feels like a
That's
30s
great.
song, right?
All right,
So
All right,
while
there's a
he's
light
doing that,
pour
Yeah, that's
for
right.
me.
Light pour, yeah. So this we're going to use Rabbit Hole Cave Hill bourbon. One of my favorite. This is my go-to
What
bourbon
is-
at home that I drink.
I have the blue label. What's the difference between that and the blue?
So this is one of the four. This is a 4-grain bourbon that they make. They have about 4 staples in their line. They make a lot of expressions, but this is one of the core ones of the brand, the Cave Hill. It's about $60 a bottle. I would put it up there with any bourbon. You're going to spend $150 a bottle on. The guy Cave Zamanian who makes it is a master at it. And we're going to put I brought nutmeg too.
Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
sprinkle some on top.
Yeah, I know.
You got to have nutmeg.
You got it.
It's weird. Nutmeg and paprika, or paprika, depending on who says it. But it adds a lot more than you'd think for
sure.
some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, in stuff you wouldn't even expect it. It's great in like a creamed spinach. It's great in lots of stuff.
Nutmeg is sort of inert, but yet
phrase.
yet necessary.
I don't know if this
I'm
will
gonna
upset
let
you,
Chris do
Adam, or
this.
make you happy. Christy made fresh eggnog this weekend.
Well,
Fresh.
Wait, I'm excited
from
for you. I'm excited
scratch.
for you to do this because
wow.
how good is that?
Wow.
It might be the best eggnog I've ever had.
It is.
It's
and
so good.
it's so good. Yeah. And you know what is, as much as I like to talk smack about my mom, she would get a nutmeg nut.
Oh, real? Of course she
microplane
would.
it?
Just
That I
hit it
believe.
because it was like at some point her weird obsession with whole food
Right.
and natural food and stuff. Once in a while, it paid dividends. Mostly, it was a punishment. It was a brutal punishment. But every once in a while, you get the fresh. I think you can buy, as I remember, just like a little
must be able
nut
to.
and
You
just
can.
kind of grate it.
It comes in the spice jars, and it comes with the nuts, and you take it out and you grate it.
Roast.
Happy holidays.
yeah, it's
There we go.
awesome.
So again, we got the eggnog with the Cave Hill from Rabbit Hole. It's about as good as it gets.
This
Yeah.
tastes like an old school holiday party.
Got a little spice
This
to
is
it.
fantastic.
By the way, you have to finish it because I didn't bring any other glasses, so we need to fill it back up with the rum. So you have no choice. There's nothing to dump it in.
Joke's on you. I'm combining this with the coffee.
Santa wants you to drink it all. Okay. So what do you
Oh
think?
my God. This warms my
I feel
belly.
so much better. All right, hangover gone.
Yeah.
Already gone. Irish coffee, eggnog.
I've thought it was weird in general to have cream mixed with liquor, but I get it today.
Yeah,
You know,
this
like
is
White
good.
Russians and stuff. This
is
is
good.
fantastic.
It just makes you want to put on sweatpants, get on the couch, put the game on, cozy socks,
This is
Give
good.
up.
rub your belly.
Cozy Socks, my gay porn name. Spell it with an X.
So yeah, again, what do I need to cover here? We know all about
Three
Rabbit Hole.
X's.
Rabbit Hole was one of our best ofs, I think, last year, wasn't it? We did the best of. I think Rabbit Hole was one of them, wasn't it?
Oh, it's on my
Brian?
bar. That's great.
Let me ask you guys a porn question. Is triple X really a thing? Because once
no.
you get to an X
the
rating,
MPA
you're
does
an
not
X.
rate triple X.
That was just them, right?
Yes, that was marketing.
That was
That
good
was the
marketing.
guy from Defending Your Life who
All
I
nude.
came up with all
All nude.
nude. All nude.
Yeah.
Right?
The MPAA does not rate things triple X.
This is look at you, man. You're like you're bartending the hell out of this today.
He worked at a Bennigan's.
Okay.
What'd you work at?
Houlihan. TJ Fridays.
TGI
We have
Fridays.
Bennigan's out here?
Fridays.
I thought that was a Midwestern thing.
It is.
Oh, okay.
There was one down by the ocean down oh God. Huntington, Newport. Trying to think where. But
I'll be
anyway.
honest, the rum makes it a little smoother.
The rum does? Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So
really?
let me tell you about this rum. It's called Batiste rum. They're based here in California. They don't make the rum here. They make it down in the Caribbean. This is their rum, the reserve rum that they just came out with. It's fantastic. What I love about this rum, it's the only one that's made from sugarcane juice. Most other rums,
Oh,
it's
we don't have
molasses.
that.
They press it. This is the only one made from pure sugarcane juice. It is also the only spirit in the world third-party certified carbon neutral.
Whoa.
Okay? This is about as progressive as you can get.
Yeah, you're doing good
Nothing
for the earth
bad
when you
is
get
happening
this.
to the earth with
Yeah.
this Batiste rum.
How do they certify something carbon neutral?
They hire some firm to come in and say, yeah, they do it. Yeah, no, but it's they're very, very environmentally aware at this company. I love it. It's very eco-positive, fair trade, non-GMO, no additives. There's nothing
Damn.
in this thing. Most rums, they're going to put stuff in there. They're doing nothing. This is pure.
How much a
rum.
bottle?
You
Well, we can look it
Hold
up.
on. Let me
Thank you.
stick my hand. I might pull it out of my ass. I'm going to go $50.
Okay.
Let's say about $50.
So it's a little on the higher side.
Maybe $40. Where do you want it to be?
Between the
Yeah.
bourbon and the rum, I detect a little bit of a tang with the rum that I kind of like.
You like it? Okay.
Yeah.
Chris bailed on me. So I
Wow,
have to
they're
make
both.
right.
I know it's hard to pick a winner because they're both winners.
Very different.
That
Very
is-
good.
That is. They're both spectacular.
I'm telling you, I'm digging it right now. And it's again, the eggnog blows me away.
I've
It's the
never
best.
had eggnog with. I only had eggnog like 2 times in my life, and I never had it with alcohol. This is really a game
You're missing
changer.
out.
This is great.
Gina's like, I can't wait to get home and make this.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, well, like I said, the recipe's on the Fresh Victor Instagram.
And by the way, Fresh Victor was the one that we all went crazy for when we tried like the
juices.
yeah, it was like watermelon jalapeno and like these.
Can I tell you when I brought that in here, your fans went crazy to the point where the CEO of the company wrote me a letter saying, thank you literally made our year because so many Carolla fans were buying the Fresh Victor.
So good.
Well, I gotta say, we talked about it in that episode, but I probably don't remember the weird stuff with the yellow dye number 7 and all the high fructose corn syrup and stuff like that. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? So here's the thing on mixers. You're throwing a party. You're buying things.
You're hosting.
You're hosting.
entertaining.
By all means,
you're doing
get a
something.
good ingredient.
You bought a honey baked ham. It cost
Right.
you $33. You know what I mean? Spend an extra $18 on mixers. Like, just get something good.
Yes.
There's nothing worse than that weird syrupy, plastic, squeezy, shitty, big handle stuff. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Why not? It's like it'll make or break. You got the decent booze and you're screwing it up with the shitty mix. Get the good stuff. All right, Dan, I'm going to cut you short a little bit there because we got the news.
Oh, okay. Do you not want to do this last one we got here?
All
It's
right.
brand new. Brand new.
Get the last one
this
together.
Is and only
Get it for
because
the
I know
news.
you're going to love the name.
Oh yeah,
Jim Beam Cream.
that's your other board name.
Come on,
That's
you know
right.
you want some Jim Beam Cream. You know you want
What
it.
is it? Is it a dessert liquor?
By the way, this is brand new. I mean, it's not even in stores yet. They're just put it out. Jim Beam Cream. It's a liqueur. They're trying to compete with, Bailey's, the holiday. Basically, they're going for that market. $20 a bottle. I have not tried it, so
Ooh,
we're
let's try
going to let
together.
Gina go in first because she's already slugged down her eggnog. You're the only one with an empty glass right now,
Delicious.
so let's go, Gina. Here we go. Jim Beam Cream.
I love it.
Are you ready to put some Jim Beam Cream in
I
your
want
mouth?
it in my mouth.
All right, here you go.
That's
Can you say
heavy
that
pour.
again? Can you say that?
I want it in
Just
my mouth.
Slower.
I
There we
want it
go.
in my
All right.
mouth.
All right, let's see here. Gina's
What's the
going
alcohol content on
It's
it?
only 30. It's 30%.
So-
Excuse me, 30 proof. 15% alcohol. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of what wine is. So
What do you
pretty
think?
much what wine is.
Jim Beam Cream.
That's goddamn delicious.
Jim Beam Cream.
This
Getting
is like
a thumbs up from Gina.
Almost like an alcoholic Werther's. Like just a really nice sort of candy flavor.
let me try
This
it.
is really nice.
Try it.
Black folk, you got the vertical, you got the wide hog, and then you got a little bit tardy. Focus on tamping down the bad. That's all, just like you would individually.
That's a good
I
point.
mean, lean into the good stuff, tamp down the bad. Don't throw them all out.
Right.
All right.
Is that why Jews have gotten less funny? They didn't want to be known for it.